How you doing today, sir?
Good, sir.
How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Just stopped for a vehicle inspection.
Okay.
Just basically going to check your load securement and all that and check your vehicle compliance as well, okay?
Got it.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, Kevin.
Yep.
What is wrong with this picture? When I come up in the towing industry, I was taught, minus the safety chains he doesn't have up front, this was legit, but I started doing this 25 years ago. So 25 years ago, with safety chains up front, would this have been a good tow?
You can use the winch as part of the securement. So, and it has to have a securement in the back.
Okay.
And that's kind of just 2 parts of securement. That's really all we need.
Okay.
So you can use the winch how it is. I mean, me personally, I'd like to see an extra chain there because if these could fail, I don't know, but the regulation says they can use the safety or the winch itself for securement.
So we have one winch up front.
Yeah, there's chains, 2 chains in the back.
2 chains in the back. This is legal in the state of Florida.
Correct. Well, it's not the state of Florida, it's the regulation, so it's a federal regulation.
So this is a federal regulation.
Yeah, it's a federal regulation.
So across the country,
absolutely. Yeah.
this would be legitimate.
Yep.
See, that's the type of information we're looking for because I was told you had to have a minimum of 2
correct
ratcheting points of contact facing 2 different directions.
Right. The regulation's very, it's not
mechanical.
It's not saying it's vague, but it just says 2 points of securement, the front and back. That's it. It doesn't say it has to be 2 opposing. I like to see 2 opposing, and I always explain to the driver why I look at it that way, because the tilting of the truck, stuff like the vehicle or however, but the regulation says it can be just the front and the rear. That's it.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't really specifically say that it has to be on 2 opposing sides, but that sometimes I just give my little food for thought for that, but the regulation says it's front and the back. That's it.
So as your opinion, what would be a proper way to do this? What would make you feel more comfortable with this going down the road?
I mean, it looks good, personally. I mean, I think it looks good. I mean, it meets the regulation. I mean, I can't have my personal opinion about it. Like I always tell drivers, you can overdo it, but don't underdo it. I always say, it always looks better when you're trying to do more on there because, without fail, something's going to fail. It can happen. So, I like the guys that will spend that extra couple minutes to make sure they add an extra strap or what have you, but they don't have to. I mean, the regulation says it's 2, and that's kind of what we have to go by.
Because in the last few years, I've always been told that the winch does not count as a point of securement because it can fail.
It can, yeah. But so regulation says you can. I mean, so we have to go by what they say. I mean, I know some guys have company policy that says do not use that because, like you said, they can fail. Like with anything can fail. But, they always go by whatever the company can tell them to do, 4 straps, that's just their company policy. So that's what their requirement is. But as long as they're doing more than what the regulation says, that's sufficient.
All right, now my question is, what if this was a 10,000-pound vehicle?
Well, if it's over 10,000, it'd be a different securement because it turns into like a larger piece of machinery.
Okay.
So when it's a smaller vehicle, like a backhoe or something, as long as it's less than that weight, we take it as a small vehicle or like a passenger vehicle. But usually most cars and all that, just 2 straps. But when you get into larger vehicles, the straps get more, and just based on the weight.
If this was a 10,000-pound vehicle, would this be legitimate?
I mean, as long as it's 10,000, yeah. I mean, it's just whatever the load securement is. I mean, whatever the guidance tells us about how many straps you do based on the weight, that's what we'd go by.
Okay, I read and actually told, not like a DOT book or anything, that if it is over 10,000 pounds, it must have 4 mechanical tie-down points.
Has to have 4 straps, correct.
So
depending on the weight, because that turns into like a large piece of machinery. They look at it like a bulldozer or a backhoe or what have you. I mean, most cars are not going to weigh that much.
No, so they're not.
That's usually why we do it. But sometimes, wreckers do carry different types of vehicles on low boys and stuff like that. So yeah.
So 10,000 pounds, over 10,000 pounds would require
extra
4
straps.
Points of straps.
Absolutely, yep.
So in other words, you would need to secure all 4 corners with a mechanical point of tie down.
And then, of course, the strap's going to be weight rated and stuff like that. So you have indirect and direct connect straps and stuff like that, but it's just based on, like you said, 4 straps based on the weight of the equipment they're hauling.
Then once again, you said something about straps earlier being in good condition. what would get a strap deemed not good enough to be used in securing a load?
Well, depends on the size of the strap. We have an out of service criteria that we meet, and then if we take a 2-inch strap, 3-inch strap, 4-inch strap, it tells us what the minimum it can be, like a damage, like if there's a hole in it or if there's like any frayed and stuff like that, and then we base it on whatever the out of service books tells us, and then we can take it out as deem it a defective strap.
Well, in the light duty industry, typically it's a 2-inch strap.
Okay.
So if I had a 2-inch strap on here, what would be, if that strap had a cut in it, how bad would that cut have to be before you deemed it not usable?
It doesn't take much. I mean, I don't know the exact measurement, but it doesn't take much. But whatever the out of service book tells us is what we're going to go by.
Okay. So in other words, just make sure your straps are in good condition.
Make sure it's not damaged. Make sure it's not frayed. You know, and make sure you keep it safe from being frayed as you're transporting or using it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, now we're gonna use some straps on this and get your opinion on how it does it next.
Cool. Awesome.
Now that we've gotten rid of just chains, this is the Guardian way of doing things.
Yeah, it's nice.
8-point tie downs. I've actually seen trucks laid on their side, and the vehicle on the truck is still there. Which you don't want a vehicle on its side, but you want it to stay on.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is this the best way to do things?
I mean, it looks good. It's not going anywhere. I mean, do they have to? No. Because they can do the minimum what the regulation says, but this looks good. I mean, if I was going to do an inspection of this, I'd probably just keep on going by because I could see this the securement from sitting beside you on the road. I mean, it just looks really good. I mean, it's going to hold. I mean, especially with the tires, how it goes around the tires, it cradles them, so it's not going to come off.
Now, I see a lot of where I have one, you'll see a guy with this corner and just that corner and only having 2 points.
That's sufficient.
And that is sufficient?
That is sufficient, yep.
What if I had them both on this same side?
Regulation says you can. I mean, my opinion, I would like them on the opposite side, but that's just my opinion. But the regulation says it's just front and back. That's it.
Okay, what if I had just 2 on the front?
That would be incorrect. It need to have the 1 in the rear. So if they had 2 in the front and 1 in the back, that's fine. But it needs to have at least 2 on the front, or 1 on the front and 1 on the rear.
So it doesn't matter if they're on the same side or opposite sides, what direction they're pulling.
No, it does
you need to have at least 1 on the front and 1 on the rear.
Correct, yeah.
So, because I've also been told that the mechanical points need to pull opposite from each other.
I mean, you got to get it to the point where it's going to give the torque to torque it down. But, I mean, the regulation says 2 points of securement. That's kind of what it is. I mean, you look at the securement, you look at how they're properly done and the way it's manufactured to be secured, and that's what you're going to go by.
And like you say, these are tagged.
Correct. Yeah, they have the working load limit, and we know this is a proper strap. It's got a proper ratchet on there, and you got the working load limit right there on the strap.
And the nice thing about this company in particular, and all of the companies, I only sell this strap because I know these people will stand behind their products.
Right.
BA manufactures a lot of stuff in the States. All these are built in the States. They go through the trouble to test all their products. So that's the biggest reason I pretty much only sell their product, because I can feel confident that these guys and gals can use it, and I don't have to worry about anything happening.
Right.
I mean, once I sell a product, it's out, it's gone, but I have friends that do this.
Yes.
I have friends that are law enforcement. I have friends that operate wreckers. I have family. So I want everybody to come home. I want everybody to be safe.
Absolutely.
I don't want to open up my social media and see a truck off of a truck.
Yeah, totally agree.
Even if I don't have anything to do with it, I feel bad for that person. He's got a family at home, and that just affected his life or her life.
Absolutely.
So this would be the ideal way, in my opinion, to secure a vehicle to a truck.
Looks good. Very
good.
And
rated straps, all 4 corners. You have 8 points of tie down.
Correct.
4 points of mechanical securement.
Absolutely.
So this, in my opinion, is how it should be done. So I think that these guys do a class act job when they haul their customers' property around.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks like they take pride in what they do.
Yes, they do. I know these 2 drivers personally, and their trucks are always clean. They always have good equipment on them. And that's what you guys and gals look for.
Yeah, totally
if he rolled by in a gross beat up truck, you're going to.
I mean, you may want to stop for inspection, but it doesn't always mean that they're not doing it properly. I mean, just because their truck's dirty doesn't mean they're not doing it properly. But this does stand out. I mean, you can see it. I mean, it speaks volumes when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, when you see a properly maintained vehicle,
it only takes the time that he put so many straps on there. Most of the time, they'll just put the minimum on there and go down the road. But they took the extra time and made sure it's done properly. That's what the goal is here.
Now, and I'm going to ask a question that probably doesn't pertain.
Okay.
I just maybe want your professional opinion. You get a lot of these straps that will work loose as they go down the road.
Correct.
Over the years, I've always been taught you want a minimum of 3 wraps around the drum on the ratchet, because if not, it could slip.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, if this strap is flapping in the wind, even though it's on here, would that get them pulled over for an inspection?
Well, I mean, if the strap is loose, absolutely. So, I mean, if it has the minimum 2 straps, if this is not sufficiently tight enough, that could be an issue. That could possibly put the vehicle out of service, or, the strap could be defective. Who knows? But if it is bouncing around and it's not secured, either what we're going to look at is it's not, sufficient, or it could be defective or something's causing it not to. Either the tire deflated too. I mean, it could be anything like that. A number of things could cause
But it'd need to be something you would want to address. So if he had to move
Absolutely.
that strap to a different wheel to make it safe.
Yeah, it's the reason I always tell the drivers, if they're stopping for fuel or what have you, recheck them, re-ratchet them down just to make sure they're tight.
Now, is there a rule on how far you travel when you should check your securement? So say I'm crossing the entire state of Florida.
Okay.
That takes hours.
Correct.
Is there every 10 miles, every 50 miles, every 100 miles? Is there a rule saying I need to get out and check these?
For tow trucks, I don't believe there is one. I know for large machinery there is, but there's not an exact how far they have to drive. It's usually up to the driver how far they should check them and stuff like that. But there is nothing that's set forth. If you go 100 miles, you must check it. There's nothing in there that says that.
All right, that's something that's been over the years. People have talked about you should every 50 miles you should pull over.
And usually it's just a rule of thumb. Most of the drivers have their own personal preference, or their company tells them you must do it this, at this distance.
And the nice thing with GPS nowadays, you can tell if they pulled over.
Totally agree.
So that is a fantastic thing.
It is.
Now, I'm going to ask you one more question that doesn't pertain to anything.
Okay.
About this. What do you think about lights when it comes to being roadside?
Okay.
And have you ever heard of a device called the HOS iCloud, HOS alert?
No, I have not heard that. I haven't heard the HOS alert, but like for what you talk about for roadside, like for what kind of lighting are we talking about? For,
like lighting for people to put cones out.
Safety
arrows,
devices
safety devices. Are these guys, as a tow operator, allowed to block a lane off?
I mean, it depends on the circumstances. If they are, I wouldn't expect them to do that. Usually if they're going to a crash or something like that, it wouldn't be safe to do that, especially if it's on a highway or something like that. They'd have to call either law enforcement or something in the area, say, hey, we've got a disabled vehicle, I've got to block a lane, or the vehicle's off on the roadway, spun out, and I've got to take a lane. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I would call local law enforcement and say, hey, we've got to block a lane. Do you have road rangers around or something like that that can help us out to get the vehicle out of the ditch or what have you? Because it happens. Sometimes it may not be a crash. Somebody just spun out or they just got stuck in the ditch, and they just need help to get out. And how he winches it out, he may have to go straight in or may have to get in the roadway, stuff like that.
The reason I asked that question is because I was told by somebody besides you that it is not legal to block a lane without the proper certifications.
Well, not certifications, it's the safety of that. I mean, it could be. I mean, I don't know what a wrecker service has or, road rangers and stuff like that. I know road rangers can block a lane travel because they have the directional devices and stuff like that. And again, it has to be, you don't want to block a lane of travel because the safety of that. I mean, you want to notify either the highway patrol or the local sheriff's office or county or the city PD to let them know, hey, this vehicle, we've got to block a lane of travel, can you help us out? And sometimes they'll send a road deputy out there or a trooper or something like that can help you out or something like that.
Well, fortunately for us in this area, we have a lot of road rangers.
Absolutely.
And they're super helpful. They'll roll up, put their signs up and cones out, and they'll even assist.
Block lane, block lane for you or help you get them moved over and stuff like that.
That is fantastic. So, Kevin, I so appreciate Highway Patrol and Department of Transportation. I would like to do some more stuff like this in the future, to even teach some more stuff about medium and heavy duty and equipment and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So, slow down and move over because you'll save this guy's life too, and it's the law.
Thank you.
So, stop running people over every 6 days. Somebody roadside, an operator or either the law enforcement is killed by somebody not paying attention. Not paying attention to lights, yellow and white and blue and red. Move over for any of them.
Absolutely.
Even if this guy's roadside, there's no lights. Still get out of his way because he wants to go home to his family. I personally know this guy. He's got a great family, and I would like to see him go home to it every day. Just like Kevin here. I bet he's got a beautiful family at home.
Absolutely.
He wants to go home to it. That's all we want. They're here to help. This guy goes out to put his life on the line every day on the road, and so does this guy. So they all want to go home. So thank you very much. And Kevin, once again, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
All right, that's awesome.